Hey, welcome to Dan the Man's podcast. Like I said before, we're going to do winners and losers of each division, starting with the NFC, and I did NFC North. So, with the NFC North teams that I did, which is the Bears, the Bears, the Packers, the Vikings, and Lions. Who's going to win the division and how many division wins and losses and this and that. So I'll put it up over here, the stats for each team, how many wins, how many losses, as we go. I did the Bears at 2-14, 0-6 in the division. I think the Bears are going to be that good. They're going to lose a lot of games. They're still figuring it out, but they'll get there. You're working on what they got and this and that. Packers, I have 11-6. I think they're going to be pretty good. They'll be second in the division, obviously. But we'll get the team that is going to win the division in a second. And 4-2 in the division. Second best, obviously, too. When we do the other teams, the East, the South, and the West, we'll go down to who's going to make the playoffs and this and that. But next segment will be the East. Packers are going to be pretty good. They're going to definitely be above average team. 11, 12 team, 12 wins. I got them at 11-6, 4-2 in the division and stuff like that. The Vikings 6-11. I don't think they're going to be that good. They're going to be obviously better than some other teams in the NFC, but they're going to be third in the division as well. But they're also going to be 2-4 in the division. Everybody's going to sweep. Everybody's going to be. Everybody in the division is going to beat the Bears. There's some splits in there. I think I had. And Detroit, obviously Detroit Lions, 14-3, 6-0 in the division. I forgot who they're going to lose to, but Detroit, they're just going to, do that. I'll have it up here and in the video for you guys to see each team. Hey, back here on Dan the Man's podcast and stuff like that. So hit and like, subscribe to my channel. Every Tuesday and Friday I'll have new episodes on here. Talking about the Bills and the NFL, stuff like that. I did the NFC North, with the Bears, the Packers, and Detroit and everything. You'll see up that and everything. But, telling me it doesn't matter if the Bills fifth or sixth wide receiver, depending on what they carry. Are they going to carry 5? Are they going to carry 6? Not going to carry 4, I think. I think they're going to carry 5, max of 6. But, who, they're like, who gives a crap if they carry, like, who's it going to be? You know what I mean? We got these guys. The first 4 guys, Shakir, Coleman, Samuel, and MVS are your 4 guys, on the roster. Okay, but then it comes down to Claypool, Shorter, Hamler, Isabella, maybe Morris. Then you got Schaefer's and Thomas and McKinley. Those guys are probably going to be practice squad guys, even Isabella, maybe, But if they carry 5, for sure. You know what I mean? Is it going to be Claypool or Shorter or somebody else? Maybe somebody is not even on the roster right now, on the 90-man roster. You know, it doesn't matter. Those count. You know, who's the Dolphins' 6th wide receiver? I don't know. Not my team. Don't care. I care about my team, the Bills, the Mafia. You know what I'm saying? I care about my Bills. I don't care about Miami. I'll worry about that when they decide whatever they're going to do. Are they going to carry 5 or 6 or anything like that? You know what I mean? I don't 7, 8, 9. I don't care. Not my problem. I'll worry about that when we play them in week 2. And speaking of Miami, I was listening to Rich Eisman's show. Everybody knows Rich Eisman and stuff like that. And a caller called on his show Wednesday the 10th. Today's the 11th. I'm recording this. So the new podcast will come out. New episode will be tomorrow, the 12th, and everything. But I was listening to Rich Eisman podcast last night on the 10th, July 10th, 2024. And a caller called. George Kittle was coming on. And so before he came on, he was in the green room, whatever he was in. And before he came on the show and everything, he took a call. He goes, let's do the win-loss thing. And he is a Tennessee Titans fan. And Tennessee 11-6. He predicted their win, loss, win, but it ended up being 11-6. He goes, I don't know if they're going to win the division, but they're going to be the wild card. And he, and Rich Eisman asked him, hey, if he gets that kind of record, he's going to be coach of the year. And one of the wins of the 11 that he said was beating Buffalo. Tennessee ain't beating Buffalo. When that game happens, I'll put on my podcast here, hit like, subscribe, rate and review. Spotify, Apple, iHeart, wherever you pod. And I'm like, they're not beating Buffalo. And then listen to George Kittle on the Rich Eisman show. Shout out to Rich Eisman. I love watching his show and stuff, especially when they talk about the Buffalo Bills, obviously. But we had George Kittle. He was awesome. That interview was top 10 for me of all time interviews. Actually, you know what? Forget top 10. Going top 3. Listening to that, I want to watch the actual video. I'm gonna have to do that on YouTube or Roku, wherever you get. I'm gonna have to watch that because it looked awesome. Listening to it, I could almost picture it. And listen to George Kittle was awesome because they had him on because they had the receivers. It came out on Netflix yesterday. Was its debut and everything. So if you get a chance, check that out. Rich Eisman with George Kittle. But after the interview with George Kittle, they took another call, probably at the end of the show, and it was a Miami Dolphins fan. And he wanted to do the win-losses. No way, well, here we go. See what you got. And beating Buffalo twice. Has Miami beaten Buffalo twice? No, ain't happening. Oh, here's the best part. So listening, win. Not a single loss. 17-0. Going to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, 20-0. Beating the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Dallas Cowboys. Beating my Dolphins beating the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Not happening. First of all, you forget Josh Allen owns the Miami Dolphins. Aaron Rodgers owns Chicago Bears. Josh Allen owns the Miami Dolphins. I think I have to look it up, but I think it's 2 losses in Josh Allen's 1 to 2 losses in Josh Allen's career against Dolphins. And you think you're going to come in and sweep them? Oh, they're not going to be that good. They're trash. We have Josh Allen. You have Tua. Tua's not even in the top 5 in quarterbacks. It's Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, all right, up to 3, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Herbert. You could probably throw somebody else in there before we get to Tua. Tua's in the top 10, maybe 8 or 9, maybe 10 itself. There's a lot of good quarterbacks out there. So stop it. Dolphins fans are here. We get a little crazy, yes. We were like, yeah, this is the year we're going to the Super Bowl. We have to go to the Super Bowl. A friend of me said, oh, they got to go to the Super Bowl. And they not even have to go to the Super Bowl, but they have to. Otherwise, if they don't go to the Super Bowl, Sean McDermott's getting fired. I said they're getting fired if they lose in the division round. Sal Capaccio thinks they're going to be safe. I don't think so. Sorry, Sal. Love your show, too. It's always game day in Buffalo. Sal Capaccio. I had an audio of that in my first podcast, episode 1, on Spotify. Check that out. But, it's just not going to happen. That's not going to happen. He's going to get fired. Sorry, Sal. He's going to get fired if they get the division round lose. Whether it's Cincinnati, Kansas City, I don't care who. That title, before the title game. We got to get to the title game, then get to the Super Bowl. For his job to be safe. At least get to the title game. Let's start there. Okay? So, that's what you got to do. So I have written down here, Shakira, Coleman, Samuel, and MVS are your top 4s. Okay? Claypool, Shorter, Isabel, Morris, Shavers, Thomas, McKinley, and Hamler. Those guys are... Shavers and Thomas and McKinney are going to be your practice squad guys. With the new rule in the NFL with the kickoffs and everything, you might have to go 6 wide receivers to keep. But then who knows? With James Cook being there, we drafted a running back in the middle rounds, and is he guaranteed to make the roster? No, nobody's guaranteed to make the roster besides Josh Allen and James Cook. So, we'll have to see what happens. I care. A lot of fans, lots of fans, care about who is the 5th or 6th wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. Is it somebody young? Is somebody been in the league for a little bit? Like Claypool and mini camp and training camp, OTAs and everything. He's been really stepping it up, you know what I mean? So we'll have to see what happens with that. So, but I liked it. So, the guy I know bet me $10. So if he gets 3 catches or 3 passes, and give me $10. Well, we'll see. If the 6 guys, they might keep 5 guys. So I don't know. That's whatever. So that's the way it is. You're just somebody I know. Don't care. Like, I don't care. That's the way it is. Don't care. You know, we're a Bills fan, and we're gonna take it to the next level. So, let's take it to the next level. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's get. We got what's the 11th? So we got 12, 13, 14. I'm sorry, 13 days. So tomorrow's what, the 12th? So we got 12 days until training camp officially starts on the 24th. I think they got to report on the 23rd, and then, get dropped off, everything, make sure everything's good, and then, so about 12 days till training camp. I'm excited for it. Let's get training camp going. How many people are in for the 18th game? Extra buy or benefits to help the players out with not just a buy, but maybe something else as well. Maybe a little longer rest during the off season. We're gonna start. The second week of July is when you start training camp. The second Thursday of July you start training camp. So we'll see what happens. And we'll go from there. So stay tuned. Hit and like, subscribe to the Dan the Man podcast. New episodes Tuesdays and Fridays. So until next time, guys, go Bills.